volleyball coach, Coach Avery, with us to give us a preview of this weekend's tournament in the Marriott Volley Brawl. Coach Avery, how have you prepared for this tournament?
I think in terms of preparation, we can look at last weekend's tournament at West Virginia. First tournament of the year, they're always a little nerve-wracking. It's, getting a lot of lineups together, figuring out who plays well together, getting a lot of the nerves out, working on a lot of different plays. So having the first weekend done and over with, we were able to evaluate a lot of different things that we still need to work on for this weekend. And so that was very good preparation for us for this weekend's tournament.
Who are you looking forward to playing the most this weekend?
Well, I am an alumni of Ball State, and I played volleyball there for 4 years. So obviously, for me personally, Ball State for sure. But not only for that, Ball State is our, it's an in-state school. It's a big rival. Their RPI was higher than ours last year. So there's a lot of comparisons between us and them. And so that's going to be a really tough game for us this year. And it's nice to beat whenever you can beat an in-state rival school, I think that shows a lot for your school. Also Evansville, again, just because it's a school that's very comparative to ours a lot. When you talk about Valpo, you talk about Butler and Evansville in the state of Indiana. And so Evansville will be a really important game for us also.
What is your outlook for this year's season?
The outlook is big, as always. We expect great things out of our teams every year. We have really high expectations every year, and it doesn't matter who we've graduated or who's playing or who's coming in. Our goal is always to win the Horizon League and win the Horizon League tournament and go to the NCAA tournament. This year's team is very youthful. We have a ton of underclassmen, and they're all playing significant playing time this year. So we have to be a little patient, I think, this year and let our youth kind of get used to each other and get used to competition. And I really think by the end of the year, we're going to gel together really well, and we're going to find a really good lineup that works, and hopefully we'll be peaking at the right time.
Can you tell me a little bit about the whitewater rafting trip you took during your last tournament at West Virginia?
Yeah, we always like to do something fun at least once a year when we go on a tournament, and in West Virginia is very outdoorsy, so we just kind of got on the internet and looked what was around, and we found whitewater rafting, and it was an amazing experience, honestly. The people there were great. Our tour guides were great. We had a lot of fun, lots of laughs. We had a lot of people fall out of their boats. Thankfully, minimal damage was done to them. That was kind of a concern of ours. But, it's funny how whitewater rafting, when he was explaining it to us and the team, it really is all about teamwork, and they talked about being aggressive and working together, and that's kind of what we talk about on a day-to-day basis. So it's funny how they kind of went hand in hand. But we had a blast. It was a great time for everyone, and I would do it again in a second.
Are there any other things you do to bond as a team?
Our girls, when we recruit girls to this program, we try to recruit girls that we know want to be part of our family and want to be here and want to love each other and, like I said, be part of a family. And, they kind of do a lot of stuff on their own. They go and they support other programs here. They do a lot off campus together. So it's kind of easy for us as a coaching staff in terms of team bonding, because they really team bond well on their own.
What time can fans come out and support the team this weekend?
This weekend we start play tomorrow at 11:30 against Murray State, and then we play at 7 o'clock against Ball State. And then Saturday we play at 11:30 again against Texas A&M Corpus Christi, who has a few local girls on the team. And then we wrap up with 4:30 playing the University of Evansville.
Great. Thank you, Coach Avery.
Thank you.